Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Achyutan Ishwar and I'm the co-founder of Sampurna Ahara and nutritionscience.in. Today I'm going to be speaking with you about Pongal and Sankranti that's coming up this week. So happy Pongal to all of you and your families. We are so excited because we've cooked up a whole lot of goodies that are completely healthy and absolutely delicious at the same time. So we're going live today with Sampurna going to be joining us. She is our co-founder and my wife, and we have a lot of super duper yummy stuff to be sharing. And yes, I think we see something happening. Yeah, I think they will. Shanta will be with us in a minute. So in the meantime, thank you all for joining us, and hi, thank you for joining.
Hi, thank you so much for doing this video. Really looking forward to it.
Wonderful. And thank you, every one of you, for joining here today. I'm Dr. Achyutan Ishwar, and this is Shyamla Suresh, and we're the co-founders of Sampurna Ahara and nutritionscience.in. So, wishing you and your family a very happy Pongal, happy Sankranti. Today, we're going to be talking about how to enjoy and celebrate a healthy Sankranti. Oh, that rhymed. A lot of fun. Okay. So, many years back in my childhood, my family and I used to celebrate Pongal by boiling this huge pot of rice and dal with water and milk and sugar, and then we switched to jaggery, and we would boil it until it boiled over, and then shouting the Pongal oh Pongal when it boiled over. I'm not sure how many of you have that tradition, but it was something as kids really looked forward to, and the direction in which the water boiled over would be indicative of something specific. If it's east, then there's this benefit. If it's west, then there's that benefit. Our grandparents would tell us all these stories, and we'd get all excited. And especially because that pongal would be so delicious, straight out of the mud pot. We'd have one mud pot at home that we would use just for pongal. It was our pongal bane. And we would use that pongal pane with there was I think some couple of sticks of sugar cane, some turmeric roots, fresh turmeric roots. We tie it with a thread that is dipped in turmeric powder, the yellow thread. We tie that around the pot and then cook the pongal in it. So it was all of this was symbolic of the end of a harvest season. When seasons were changing, the weather was changing, and we just harvested a crop, a fresh crop of rice, of sugarcane, of turmeric, and of so many other yummy goodies. And that would have to last for the next 6 months until we get the next crop. So we would, uh, enjoy that and celebrate it with the Pongal or Pongal from that big mud pot. The problem was all of these ingredients that we were using. So it's called Chakra Pongal, that dish. We would make it with white rice, white sugar, milk, and then we'll add a big dollop of ghee to it. Four ingredients, all of which are incredibly unhealthy. But we didn't know this as a family. We were just enjoying Pongal, right? But thinking back, if only we had used healthy ingredients for our Pongal, then we would have been so much healthier as a family and would have been able to celebrate so much more as a family. I see a comment saying Achi says hi Achintya, thanks for coming. So Achintya is our nephew. He is my sister Janani and his brother-in-law Siddharth's son. They are our co-founders of Sampurna Ahara as well. And Achintya has been whole food plant-based all his life. I think that's fantastic, an opportunity that we didn't have, we didn't even know about. But it's so amazing that we're able to do this for him, and that's so wonderful. So this would be one of Achintya's first few pongals of life, and for him and for the rest of us at home, we're going to be making the same chakra pongal, the same ven pongal, but with a healthy twist to it. So one of the things that we're going to be doing is to use unpolished whole grain rice. So traditionally, the way Pongal was made was always with unpolished rice. It was never with white rice, right? So today everyone makes it with white rice, but traditionally it wasn't so. It was always made with something called kaikuttalarsi or hand pound rice. So we're going to be using hand pound rice as well. And over to Shyamla to tell what else we do. What is the number two thing that we do to make our Pongal healthy?
Wonderful. I think that's such a great introduction, taking us back to times when we used to celebrate Pongal with everything that you just mentioned. It's very nostalgic. I'm sure a lot of people who have similar traditions and celebrate similarly will also feel so. So that's really nice. I think the second thing that goes into making a really amazing yet healthy Sakra Pongal would be dates, because what's a sweet without sweet, right? So instead of using refined sweeteners like sugar or jaggery or honey, using date syrup, that is date syrup with the fiber. Most of the date syrup that you get in stores today comes with, it's filtered, so most of the good stuff, the fiber is all gone. Moving to date syrup with the fiber, and it's really simple to make as well. You just have to soak dates overnight and grind it fine the next day, and that's it. You have fresh date syrup, and it's so rich. I think that's the thing, right? Like when you tell people, oh, you can sweeten using dates, you don't have an imagination of what it's going to taste like unless you try it.
Yeah, we
It's
never
just
tried
so
it
rich.
before. No, most people have never even tried it. I've tried sugar, I've tried jaggery. Some people have even tried artificial sweeteners and stevia. But sweetening with dates, although it sounds so simple, you never tried it before. So how do you
Yeah.
make sure that you get the same taste, Shyamla, as your regular pongal when you're using date syrup? Do you have any tips for us?
So two things. One is to grind the dates fine, so make it into a nice fine paste and don't filter it. The second is to use about 50% of dates in the dish, 50% of the total dates, because what ends up happening is, since we've never used it before, you end up using too little because you don't know how it's going to be, what it's going to taste like, how much it's going to sweeten the dish. So if you want really sweet, nice, decadent pongal, I would say be generous with the date syrup, grind it fine, and really, go out there with it.
But won't that be too much sugar? I mean, I use a few spoons of jaggery, that's fine. But if you use like 50% date syrup, isn't that too much sugar?
That's what you would think, right? And I think we've all learned this from you about really what it means to eat healthy and how these kind of foods, how they affect our body. When it comes to whole food and whole plant sweeteners like dates, as you always tell us, it is about the fiber. So any food that has fiber intact, whether you're grinding it or juicing it, but without removing the fiber, as long as the fiber is there, the absorption into the blood is steady and slow. So it does not cause a blood sugar spike. Although, it might be a little hard to believe, how can I eat this much of dates? It is going to cause a blood sugar spike, but it doesn't. It doesn't cause a blood sugar spike. It's steady. And also, dates come with so many other vitamins, minerals, and micronutrients, antioxidants. It's actually, your Sakra Pongal becomes a health food, so to speak. Although that sounds a little unbelievable, that's exactly what ends up happening. So while sugar is a problem, it's only a problem when it's refined, when you remove the fiber from it and it's just plain sugar, then it spikes up your blood sugar. But as long as you have the fiber intact, which is why we say don't strain it out when you're making the date syrup, don't strain it. As long as you keep the entire thick date syrup with the fiber, it's all good.
Fantastic. We are so focused on one single nutrient, sugar, we miss out the big picture. It's not about how much carbohydrate a food has. It's not about how much sucrose or glucose something has. It's about the whole package, right? I mean, a phone might have a good camera, but it might be extremely slow. Another phone might be super fast, but the camera might be really bad. You want a phone that is pretty good at pretty much everything that you want to do. A fast phone with a good camera. And that's what happens when you sweeten your pongal, your chakra pongal, with dry fruits and fruits. You get the sugar, sure, but you also get fiber. You also get vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, a whole wide variety of nutrients that your body needs to keep you healthy and while enjoying delicious food. Right? So that's number two. That's the second thing we can do to keep Pongal healthy. The first one was use unpolished whole grains like brown rice or red rice or millets or whole wheat. And the second one was to use whole food sweeteners like date syrup to sweeten your Pongal. The third one I'd like to share with all of you is to use nut butters or nut milks or soya milk or plant-based milks instead of dairy milk. So, interestingly, one of the rituals associated with Pongal, one of the celebrations, is Matu Pongal, where you worship cows, right, for providing you with sustenance during times of drought. And that was the case earlier. You lived in India 500,000 years back. Yes, you did not have food to eat for many days at a time if the crops didn't grow well, if there was no rain, if there were so many problems that caused food insecurity. But at that time, if you had a cow at home, chances are good that you and your family might survive. Today, that's not the case anymore. We have more than enough food to eat, so you can choose something better. I mean, I know there is no Indian household that hasn't heard of badam milk or coconut milk. In Karnataka and Bangalore, for example, yellow neeru or till milk is popular. You have in the Konkan areas, there's something called munga udak. That's milk made from moong dal, which is just dry roasted moong dal ground up with a glass of water. It makes a delicious milk. So you can use any of these to make your own plant-based milk and still enjoy a fantastic, delicious chakra pongal at home this weekend. Over to Shyamla for tip number four.
So, tip number four, I would say, is to just mix everything in, add in some spices. I think the flavors, we usually think, oh, without oil and without dairy, this is not going to have flavor. But we forget that flavor comes from herbs and spices and basically from plants. So, to add a tiny pinch of whatever spices you like, a little bit of saffron also goes a long way, but it really depends on you. I would say a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of cardamom. I would say something that you can go for. Also, you can sprinkle some raisins on it, garnish it with some cashews, with some just broken cashews, almond slivers. You can make it as fancy or as basic as you like. And you can also add in spices based on your specific taste preferences. So have fun with it, mix it all up, and really enjoy it this upcoming festive season. I think that's where I would come in.
Wow, you're making me hungry. So many delicious spices. There's cardamom, there's saffron. You can put cinnamon in it if you like. Just don't tell your grandmother. So you can top it up with raisins, with cashews, with badams, walnuts, pistas. Feel free. Dry fruits and nuts are your friend. There is this general misconception that masalas are unhealthy. That's not the case. Dishes with masala are unhealthy not because of the masala itself, but because of the salt and butter and ghee that go into them. Right? So you take those out and replace it with plant-based dairy, replace it with date syrup, and then it becomes fantastic and healthy for you. Herbs and spices are the top highest foods in antioxidant content in the world. So your pongal gets like 5 times, 6 times healthier if you add that pinch of cardamom into it than without the cardamom than plain by itself. So you're actually making your pongal healthier when you add that cardamom to it. So go ahead and do that, right? So those are four tips for you to make a healthy pongal this Sankranti. And there is, for those of you who want to make it easier for yourself or want a more convenient way, we've created something at Sampurna that I'm really, really excited about, and we'd like to share those with you. So it started off when my sister Janani was thinking about, okay, now we started using date syrup, started making this pongal, but it's a little little more time consuming than your regular pongal. Instead of just taking the rice and jaggery and putting it in a pot and mixing it, you need to soak the dates, grind them, put them in the fridge if it gets too late, and have it all ready beforehand. Grind your nuts and that there's two, three different things all together. What can we do to make this easier? So she came up with this fantastic idea that I'd like to show to you. It's called the Paisam Bombs. And it's fantastic. Okay, so it looks just like our laddus. It has dates, it has nuts, it has the cardamom, and it has some roasted wheat flour, roasted besan, depending on what that you get. So all you need to do to make your chakra pongal is you cook your rice, your brown rice or millets or oats or moong dal or whatever, like black rice if you like. You just cook it, take these paisam bombs, put them in with some water in your mixie, grind it down to a smooth milk, and mix it into your paisam. That's it. In fact, you don't want to boil the rice, don't forget about the rice. Just grind this with water and your paisam is ready. That's it. It's like a single step, whole food, plant based paisam. Super convenient, super easy. And that's why I love these paisam bombs because it makes my life so much easier. I can still get to eat delicious, healthy food while staying healthy at the same time. Right, so check it out if you click on, I think, the links here above, and you can go to Sampurna Ahara's profile. In the menu, there is an option called Pongal and Sankranti treats. So click on that, and you'll find the Bison bombs there. You can check them out there. So that's about the Pongal. What else can we do, Shyamla, this Pongal to eat healthier? Do you have any other tips for us? Any other dishes or tricks you'd like to share?
So, you were talking about making things easier, right? And I think for a lot of people, especially now, there are a lot of people who are living away from family, and there's everyone's also taking precautions and staying home because of the coronavirus. And what I think the meals that we've planned for Pongal, I think, make it really, really convenient for people who are looking for an easy solution. So on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we have three back-to-back Pongal and Sankranti meals, and I'm for one waiting to have them because I just love the traditional feasts, and the ones that we make are just amazing. So if you are looking at a convenient way of enjoying the feasts and you don't really either feel like it, or you just want to give yourself a break, it's all completely whole food plant based, so it's completely healthy, but it's also a traditional and festive feast. So everything from your kara pongal to your chakra pongal, then we have mixed rices on one day, which is again a super popular dish that people really like. Again, of course, different types of paisams every day, and there's also obbattu. We haven't forgotten obbattu. How can we? So there's obbattu, there's yellu karjura, there's milagu vadai. I mean, it's just endless. So you can check out the menus of all the three upcoming meals. Again, the link is in our bio. You can click on it and you can have a look at it. It's a different menu each day, by the way. So we are looking at the various things that are specific to the festival, and we have created three really delicious menus which have been grandmother approved. So I'm sure you will enjoy it if you're looking for a convenient option and if you want to celebrate without really moving a muscle.
Super. And I think we have different menus every day, right? Depending on which festival. So Pongal is actually not a 1 day festival. It's a 3 to 4 day festival. The first day is called Bogi, and then the second day is the actual Pongal or Sankranti. Then you have the Kanu Pongal and a couple of other Pongals that come after that. So what happens the first day, the speciality, the highlight of the meal is the Obbatu, right? Right. And normally Oppato is made with a wafer thin maida with a sugar or a jaggery stuffing inside, and eaten with a big dollop of ghee on top of it. I know that's how I used to eat it. I'm sure most of you do it at home as well. And the way we have done it, extremely delicious and melt in the mouth. In fact, I'll show you. I have some here. So this is our Shenga Opattu. This is a peanut, sweetened peanut stuffing is there inside this Opattu. So there are different kinds of, there's a Thai Opattu, there is, I think, Bele Opattu, and this one is the Shenga Opattu. So this has peanuts and date syrup mixed and with cardamom powder and stuffed inside this. So it looks like an Obattu, it tastes like an Obattu, it is an Obattu, but it's absolutely healthy to eat. It melts in your mouth just like the key. And I'll tell you how we did it. We did it by using nut butter. You can use peanut butter, that's what we did. You mix peanut butter with the actual dough and with the stuffing. That gives you the natural oil that you're looking for, that makes the obattu melt in the mouth. Right? That's not the only trick. You still need to learn how to actually roll it out and make it super thin and cook it to the right extent. But once you practice, once you become good at it, using nut butters, just like a regular butter, you'll need to learn how to make it if you have never made it before. But if you already know how to make obattu, then this is super simple. Just add a generous quantity of nut butter to your obattu mix. Replace the sweetness, whatever you use, either sugar or jaggery. Replace it with a whole food sweetener like date syrup, and that's it. You're good to go. You can make your obatus the same way and still enjoy the delicious yet healthy obatus or olis this Sankranti. And the second day is the actual Pongal day. So over to Shyamla to talk about the two different types of Pongal that we have on that day and how you can make those at home. I think we spoke about the sweet
We
Pongal.
already spoke about it. Yeah, so as many of you already know, on the day of Pongal, we have the sweet Pongal and the Kara Pongal or the Vent Pongal. If you are looking for really specific recipes that also, taste really traditional, and you don't really, you're not someone who wants to experiment on the festival day, we have whole food plant-based Pongal and Sankranti recipes on nutritionscience.in. You can just look for it on our website, nutritionscience.in. Also on sampurnahara.com, we have a Sankranti recipe book that is free that you can download and try out those recipes as well. So there are very specific recipes with the proportions and the right spices and all of that, so you get it just right on the festival day. So I think that's, for me, more than anything, getting to celebrate health during these festivals is so important, because nobody wants to miss out on these delicious foods. At the same time, if you can preserve your health and if you can also feel great at the end of it, nothing like it, right? So I think for me that is the highlight of the festival, and all the resources around it to help make it easier for people to follow it. I think also the yellow karjura, so which is usually yellow bella. I think I really like it more than the yellow bella, because the karjura is just so juicy, and it's so chunky and it's so nice. I think that is another very popular Sankranti special traditional snack that's there. I'm sure you have some of it to show everyone. If you do, you
Obviously,
can.
there you go. So this is
Uh,
the yellow Kajura that we've made. Our co-founder Sri
yeah,
Vipa came up with this idea. So it's basically the same yellow bella that you eat, right? With yellow means till and bella means jaggery. Now, till is a great whole food, but bella or jaggery is unfortunately a processed food. So what do? You replace it with a whole food sweetener. So this has your white till. It has instead of the jaggery, we use these dried dates, and then you have the rest of the stuff, the dry coconut and peanuts and your chana dal and a couple of other ingredients that are all mixed together. That tastes fantastic. It's just like your yellow bella. It's a nice chewy mouthful, and my mouth is watering. This is the problem. Every time we do these food videos, eating on screen looks bad. Maybe I'll just go off screen for a minute next time. And
we should
so,
do a mukbang.
yes, we should, seriously. It's going to be more of a just keep eating. I don't know when we'll have time to speak in between, but this is the yellow kharjura. You can check it out on the website and you can make it at home. Just replace the jaggery with dry dates and you're good to go. All the other ingredients are already traditionally healthy to eat.
Also, it's I really like the fact that one describes it as Indian trail mix. Makes it sound so fancy, and also something that you can snack on through the year, especially if you're looking at holding on to healthy snacks and just keeping a box of it. And when you're at work, you can just open it and have a little bit. Or if you've just done a little bit of a light workout, again you can just carry this with you. It's just perfect. It is definitely an Indian trail mix, and definitely love the Kharjura in place of the Bella. It does make it a lot tastier, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah. So these are the yummy, yummy foods that we've cooked up at Sampurna Ahara for all of you this weekend on the Sankranti festival. Now, I'm sure you all have a lot of questions, a lot of things you'd like to ask. So go ahead and put your questions in the Q&A section or in the comment section below. We'll be happy to answer them. We're going to be here for a few more minutes. We'll be happy to share what we know to help make this Pongal, Sankranti, happier and healthier for you and your families. So we have a number of people who have joined and said hello. So a warm welcome, Dr. Ritika, who's at thehealthcoach.in, and Dr. Isha. We have a few others who've joined and commented. Thank you all so much for joining and coming here. I hope this session was useful for you in learning about how you can still enjoy a healthy festival, a happy festival while staying healthy. That you can enjoy Sankranti, you can enjoy Pongal, you can make everything from puliogre to ven pongal, kara pongal, chakra pongal, or sihi pongal to your vadas and pakodas and burfis and laddus and ondas and your yellow bella and paisam. You can use anything you can eat anything you like, but you can stay healthy by using healthier ingredients. And that's what we're all about at Sampurna Ahara. So we have,
Absolutely. Some of you have also asked us, I saw a comment or two about recipes for specific dishes. Somebody had asked for sweet pongal. We did talk about it at the beginning of the video, so you can, listen to it again and you'll get the recipe. And if you want to follow a very traditional recipe with the exact amount of spices and dates and other things, you can look it up on our website, which we have also mentioned.
fantastic. And if you guys want to download the recipe book, that's a great idea. It's totally free of cost. You can go to sampurnahara.com and there's a link called free ebooks in the menu. So just click that and there's a Sankranti recipe book that you can download and follow the same recipes at home. No. So we started Sampurna Ahara to help make healthy eating easier for people. And I hope that we have helped you and your family make healthy eating easier for yourselves a little bit in this live video. So thank you all so much for joining. Wishing you all a happy Pongal, happy Sankranti. And I think there are a last couple of questions. We will answer those and then we will close up for the day. One of you has asked, what can be used instead of jaggery other than dried dates? Chandra, would you like to take that one?
So as we've already mentioned in the beginning of the video, you can use regular dates. You can soak it till it's really soft and grind it into a fine paste. So you get a really thick, delicious, very decadent date syrup. Ensure that you don't filter it out and remove the fiber, because that is what makes it healthy. Having the fiber as a part of the sweetener is what makes it healthy. So don't filter it out, or don't opt for dates that are already filtered. So you can make it at home. That is one thing that you can do. You can use any whole plant sweetener like dates. For Pongal, for Sakra Pongal, I would recommend dates and date syrup, because taste wise it's really yummy. And in fact, I think date paste, in my opinion, works well for a wide variety of the Indian desserts, that like your paisams, your kheer, the Sakra Pongal, all of these things go well with the date syrup. The taste really goes well with the rest of the ingredients. For other kind of sweets, you can also use raisins, you can use figs, you can also use a little bit of stevia, but limited use is what we recommend. You can also use blackstrap molasses. There are a few other whole plant sweeteners that you can use, but primarily fruits and dry fruits. For a majority of Indian preparations, especially festive ones, the date syrup works really well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And our last question. Um, Let me scroll up to it. Great. So Ankita says that you'd like to join our masterclass. Is there any specific date when you start? Great. So a warm welcome to Ankita. We would love to have you with us on the masterclass. There is no specific date. That's the best part. It's a pre-recorded course. So you can join anytime. You can go and sign up right away. You can click the link, go to the profile of Sampurna Ahara, go to the website. There you'll see masterclasses in the menu. Click on that and you can join the plant-based diet masterclass anytime. So there are two components. One component is all of the recorded sessions. There are more than 60 different videos and more videos coming up. So right now we have about 50-60% of videos are up, and we have a discount that you can take for joining before the entire course is up. I think it's a pre-launch discount that we're offering. It's a 50% off, so check it out. You have more than 50 videos, 200 recipes, and 3 weeks of meal plans that are already up. So by the time you're done with that, the rest of the video should be up. And the other component is live sessions. So every Sunday we have a get together at 2:30 and a live Q&A session with the two of us and our team, where you can come and join and meet face to face, at least on video, the other people who are a part of the masterclass. And so many inspiring stories out there, fantastic journeys, people who completely transformed their lives. Honestly, that's my favorite part of the week. It inspires me so much to see people saying, Doctor, I have overcome all of these difficulties. I've overcome my laziness. I've overcome my, I don't know what to cook earlier. I figured it out now. I had all of these aches and pains. They've all gone away. My sugar has come down. BP has come down. I've lost weight. I'm feeling healthier. I am healthier. That's my inspiration to keep going, to keep making these videos, and to share with all of you the life-saving information that has helped me and my family stay healthy. I hope it helps you and your family stay healthy as well. Thank you all so much for joining. Wishing you a very happy Pongal, a happy Sankranti, and I look forward to meeting you all tomorrow, hopefully on our next live session. Take care. Have a great day.